Alright, let's talk about money. Not the coins you find in your couch, but the big, world-changing kind of money. The stuff that makes headlines and gives your grandpa something to shout about at dinner. For the longest time, the rules felt set in stone. Governments print money, banks control it, and the rest of us just try to get a piece. A system as unchangeable as your aunt's questionable fruitcake recipe. Then it felt like someone flipped the whole table. The pieces are flying and nobody knows where they'll land. The global economy hits a midlife crisis and buys a motorcycle. On one side, figures like Donald Trump, bold, loud, challenging old ideas about debt. Treating debt like a tool to build and worry about the bill later. On the other, a movement in your pocket, the Pi network, a quiet tap-by-tap revolution. Here we are at a crossroads. Today is September 27th, 2025. Two ideas circling like boxers in a ring. To understand Donald Trump's playbook, understand the man. He called himself the king of debt, and he meant it. In real estate he used other people's money, loans, bonds, financing, to build. Borrow big, build bigger, let profits outrun interest. As president, he scaled the logic to the US, already carrying staggering debt. He pushed big tax cuts, especially for corporations, and increased government spending. The plan? A cash sugar rush. Lower taxes so companies invest, hire, and growth lifts revenue. Like a struggling cafe taking a massive loan to renovate, buy premium machines, and market hard. Risk, no customers means bankruptcy. Reward, lines out the door cover the loan. It prioritizes growth now over caution later. It's a gamble. Supporters say you must spend to make money. Critics call it reckless, a national maxed out card. Throw a massive party today, clean up tomorrow, or the day after. The bet, grow so fast the debt matters less. Grand moves, high stakes, potential big payoff, or a hard fall. Now let's pivot to something that feels like sci-fi. Imagine creating money as easily as checking social media. Pi is a new cryptocurrency aiming to be the opposite of Bitcoin. Bitcoin mining is power-hungry, costly, complex, dominated by large operations. For most people, it's a Corolla in a Formula One race. A team of Stanford grads asked, what if anyone with a smartphone could access a currency? Their solution? Open an app and tap once a day. No supercomputers, no massive electric bills. Prove you're human, participate to secure the network and earn coins. The goal is utility. Buying coffee, paying for services, sending money globally. Think digital cash, not digital gold. Build a massive community before market value. If enough people use it, value follows. While the world waits for open mainnet, millions accumulate coins. A project of patience and belief. Nobody knows what one coin will be worth. It could be a lot. Or nothing, a grand experiment in our pockets. Side by side, it's a heavyweight champion versus an unorthodox challenger. Trump's approach is top-down. Turn the big knobs, tax cuts, spending, and let effects ripple out. Wealth via grand projects and a stronger national economy. The system stays central, just run it faster with more risk. Pi bypasses traditional centers of power. Trust shifts from institutions to peers and secure tech across millions of nodes. Rules live in code. Changes require community agreement. A fundamental shift, from appointed officials to distributed users. Trump's world offers order and authority, Pi's offers freedom and autonomy. But in a crisis, who steers? How is consensus reached? Two very different visions of control. Every big economic idea is a gamble, a bet on the future. Debt-fueled growth versus community-built currency, massive risks, tantalizing rewards. Upside, booming economy, soaring markets, low unemployment, renewed prosperity. Downside, growth stalls, tax cuts enrich the few, debt remains. Bigger bill, no higher income. Cuts, taxes, or printing can erode savings. It's betting the house on one last hand. Pi's upside, a borderless currency, banking the unbanked, fast low-cost payments, early adopters rewarded. Risks, never launching open mainnet, no real-world value, a critical bug or security flaw killing confidence. Adoption is a belief loop. If people stop believing, it can vanish into thin air. If they do believe, it can become real. For the Trump model, the biggest obstacle is debt. Interest can crowd out infrastructure, education, defense, economies cycle. Protectionism can spark trade wars, supply shocks, and retaliatory tariffs. Global backlash could erode the dollar's reserve status, weakening U.S. power. For Pi, regulation looms. Governments wary of money supply control, illicit use, and tax evasion. The leap is from tapping to transacting, building secure, widely used markets businesses trust. Few projects navigate the closed to open transition successfully. So, Two paths to the future. Centralization versus decentralization. National strength versus global community. The future of money is being written right now. Which author do you trust to write the next chapter?